Morning guys, my name is Kyle Ray. I'm the curator at Watamu Snake Farm. So today I'm going to do a short clip on a basic off-hands removal, or how to move a snake from someone's house or a tent and be able to put it somewhere safely so you can relocate it. This is not teaching someone how to go into the bush and catch a black mamba out in the open. There's a few snakes I do not recommend doing this with. One is a black mamba, just because they're so fast, they're quick, and mistakes can easily happen. The other one is Egyptian cobras. They can be a little bit more manageable, but they have a very potent venom, so the risk, again, you got to try and eliminate. So first one is goggles. It's always good to have a set of goggles. I usually wear sunglasses all the time. The thing with the goggles is to make sure that when you're focusing on a spitting snake is not to turn your head, because with some of them, these ones not so much, the venom can get you from the side. You then want a hook stick. This is a smaller hook stick. They're very easy to make, but this is to help you just be able to move and manipulate the snake to where you want it to go. We then have a snake tong, or a grab stick. You get this in this size, which is 1 meter, and we get one bigger, which is 1.5 meters. You need to be trained how to use this, because if you use all your strength to hold on that snake because you're terrified of it coming loose, you could actually end up damaging the snake. So be very careful when using this. This is more to support and hold the snake rather than to hold on to the snake. We then have a snake tube. This is just the 4-inch PVC pipe. We use the white one or the black pipe. The red one or the gray one, for some reason, don't seem to work. I think they let in a little bit more light. But you have one end that is fixed, you can't open it, and the next end, the whole bit can slide out, so to get the snake in and be able to release it easily. We then have a bucket. These are very useful. It's good to have both of these equipment around, so if one doesn't work, you have the other one, and it has to have a nice closing lid. Please be careful when closing and opening these lids, because if you slip, the snake could come out and get you through the bucket or out of the bucket. So I'll jump in the pit now and I'll show you how to use them. Right guys, so I'm pretending that the puff adder has been found here. So what I would do is you get your tube, you get the end off that is open, you slide that as close as you can, and then now you've just got to try and manipulate it. So I'm using the hook stick and putting it in front of the snake and just doing it to support the body of the snake. Trying to turn it round and point in. What's easier to do is actually put the tube the other way, so that the direction he's already moving, the tube is that way. But for filming purposes, let's just try this way. This is something which you just don't rush. Just try to manipulate the snake. There we go. And then what you can do is you touch his tail, and that will get the snake to move in there a little bit quicker. Now you come from the side, lift this up a bit, and now here you've got to be quick to close it, because you've got to be careful. If you don't close it quick enough, or your hands are out of the way, it could jump out and bite you. So always remember to lift it up, close it. Now to take it out, it's the same process. You open here just slowly, and then you pull it back, and now we stand up and we lift the snake out. Sometimes give it a bit of a shake, and there's your snake. Now we've got the snake there again. We're going to try a few different methods to get him into a bucket now, so not using a tube. So again, you can do two things. One is just getting your bucket, putting it in front of the snake. I'm going to put it behind here so you can see. Now with the hook, you can just lift him up and put it in. And then you come from the back, watch your hands again, and lift the snake up. Put the lid on, and then be careful. To drop him out again, it's a bit of a risky thing, but you put him down, hold the bucket, tip it, and then step away. The other thing which you can do is try and lift the snake into the bucket. It's a little bit of a harder thing to do, can go through a bit more stress with the snake. So the first two methods I showed you are a little bit better. I'm going to use my tong and my hook stick. All I'm doing here is I'm using the tong to sort of support the snake. I'm not really gripping with it. So I'm just supporting the snake, the body, and be careful not to lift it all the way off the ground in case I drop it. But you can lift him up like that and then put it in. There you go. To release it, tip the bucket up and you're good to go. So again guys, with your hook stick, you're wanting to just gently hook and lift the snake up. If you're going to use your tong as well, you're just putting that just under the body, just holding the snake. You're not gripping it. to try and support its body up. Don't lift them too far up. So the other thing that is not good to do is to grip the snake behind the head with the tongue. You can see that the snake doesn't like it. It's also got lots of very weak bones here. So if it tries to move, it can actually end up breaking its back. One in the front, about a foot down and a little bit, and you can hold the snake like that. Right guys, so we're going to do the same with the cobras. Cobras are a little bit more tricky just because they're a little bit more agile than the puff adder. The puff adders, they really should not be any reason for these guys getting killed in camps. They're very easy to be able to manipulate, move into a bucket. All of these techniques can be done with a broom or a mop as well. So just having a big bucket and a tube nearby which you can hoax the snake into is very easy. Don't hold it with the tongs behind the head, and really try not to grip the snake too hard. You'll actually notice that if you grip it too hard, the snake will really try to move. If you loosen your grip, you'll see it will sort of calm down. If it's going through your grip in the tongue, then that means you haven't held it hard enough. So guys, we're going to do it with the cobra now. For the purposes of the video, I haven't put the snake out yet. I'll take it out, put it on the ground, and then try and manipulate it. So we've got our tube here, we've got our snake here, a lot faster, aggressive, spitting already. So you're just trying to show it the hole. Touch his tail, get ready. Again, lift this up a bit, and here you've got to be fast. And close the lid on. So we get our bucket, bring it up close to the snake. I could do this with just one hook stick, but I'm going to support the body with the tongue. Note I'm not anywhere near the head. The rest of the body I lift it up. I'm going to put the tail in first. And then drop him in. Someone else is ready with the lid, and you slide that on. Now, this is where you need to be really careful, is taking this off. If you've locked it down properly, it's quite hard to pop out. So what I do is I pry it open, you feel that it is all loose, and now you can take it with here, and you can walk back. The snake's head is right there at the top. So what you could do is just tilt it down, and drop the snake out. So the same sort of process, drop him down. There you go. So that's how you put highly venomous snakes into a bucket or a tube. With some of the snakes, it might happen a lot easier than others. Really take your time, do not rush the process. All the tools available for you, so if one isn't working, the other is. Some snakes will go into the tubes or the bucket a lot easier than others. So just take your time, work slowly. Also don't have that stress of lots of people around trying to take photos. Move everyone out of the room so it is just you there.
Hello guys, I'm Godana. I've seen a venomous snake handler. So I'm gonna show you a hands-on approach on how to remove venomous snakes.
So we have this setting. Someone has spotted a snake and it's gone behind this nice poster here. So Godana is going to show us how to deal with it. So first off, he's looking for the snake. So you can make sure you can see where it is. So he's seen where it is. He's now going to move everything that may get in his way out of the way. And again, doing this carefully so no hands are going close. He's got a snake in the corner there. Now he's got his snake tube. What you want to do is point the opening of this tube in the direction in which the snake is facing. So if the head is facing as it is towards Godana. Now what he's going to do here is use a hook stick and a grab stick if need be. So all he's done, he's hardly touched the snake, but he's just touching the tail and the body to sort of encourage it to move in the way it's going. So he's actually letting the snake do all the work. This one's being very cooperative, but you can actually encourage them a little bit more, lift the head, sway it to go in. The less you have to touch it, the less stress there is on the snake. So now I'm going to show you a bucket method. So pushing the bucket as close as you can to the snake. Another thing to worry about is that the bucket can roll away. Then just lift the bucket up and keep your hands out of the way. You see how he's shielded and protected by the lid. There you go. So we've got the same setting, but we're now going to demonstrate how to do it with spitting cobra. So you can see Gordana's got his glasses on. Again, we're being told that there's a snake, it's gone into this corner, so he's going to go through that process. Seeing the snake, so the next thing is move everything that may get in your way. There we've got it. Lovely red spitting cobra. Now again, you're going to put the tube in the direction towards the snake. For the demonstration purposes, we'll put it in the easiest way to film. We usually find with snakes like cobras, or the lapid cobras, mambas, it's a little bit more tricky as they're a faster moving snake. You can also see Gordana is moving very slowly around the snake. If you're moving fast, quick reactions, the snake will also react to that. Again, checking, make sure the snake has gone all the way down the tube, coming in from the side, and then sliding the top on. So you can see that took a bit longer than the puff adder. The same sort of process, and you're good to go. Always have a few different materials there ready, so that if the tube isn't working, you can move on and try the bucket method. So for the release, again, he's just trying to pry and make sure that that end cap is loose, and then he'll use his hook stick to be able to pull out the rest of the cap. Make sure you've got an escape route, so when you need to move, there's nothing blocking you behind. There we go. So another thing that you can do if the snake is taking its time to get into the tube and you're getting frustrated, is you can use like an old rag, a blanket or something like that. You put it over the snake, and that makes it feel like there's a safe place and a place for it to hide. So Gordana is going to demonstrate how to put it in a bucket. You're going to lift the blanket off the snake, and then he's going to lift the snake into the cage with a grab stick, or into the bucket with a grab stick and a hook stick. He's not squeezing the snake, he's more supporting its body. In the bucket, having something like some leaves, newspaper, or a cloth just gives the snake a little bit more of a place to hide, and less likely for the snake to shoot back out of the tube. Your best position is to grip it on that first third, and then you're supporting the rest of the body with the hook stick. Nicely done, and now into the bucket. Ready with the lid. The lid can be used as a bit of a shield. Make sure it's fastened and closed properly. And there we go.
This method is really good. It's the best and safe way of moving snakes from houses. The best hands-off techniques where you are at a lesser risk of putting yourself in the risk of getting bitten by any snake.
Hi guys, so I've just shown you how to put a venomous snake like a puff adder or a cobra into a bucket or a tube. One thing is just to make sure you have all your tools around you, your bucket and your tube. You'll sometimes find that one snake will go into the tube easier and the next will refuse to go into the tube, and you need the bucket close by. What I've taught in this video is how to remove a snake from someone's house, maybe someone's farmland, or a tent or something like that. This is not teaching someone how to go into the bush and catch a big black mamba or something like that, which is nicely out in the wild and isn't causing any problems. Handling venomous snakes is a very risky procedure, so please make sure you're on ball. There's someone there to sort of assist and help you. Please do not try and do this when you've had a few bottles of beer or something like that. We really do not want to add you onto our snakebite list. Keep your mind there. Don't be concentrating on someone taking a photo of you doing this handling or posing for a girlfriend or anything like that. You want to have all your focus on that snake and what you are trying to do. Take your time. No one is timing you to make sure you do this within a certain amount of time. It does sometimes take a lot longer, but just take your time. If you need to, you can put a blanket or something on top of the snake. That way the snake will calm down. You can then recoup and figure out what to do. If it's in a room where there's lots of things, try and remove beds and desks so there's nowhere for the snake to hide, and then you can attack the snake and try to get it out. Please be respectful of the snakes. You can really injure them if you're doing this the wrong way. Don't squeeze them as hard as you can with the tongue, and all you're trying to do is support that body to be able to manipulate that snake into a bucket or a tube. Thanks guys, please follow and subscribe for more.